ho, you like that? Well, I'm actually gonna stop doing that and start talking about why you should get the 2021 MacBook Pro in 2023. Let's get right onto it. For the last year, I have actually been editing and doing all of my stuff on this channel with the M1 MacBook Pro, and that was back in 2020 when I got that. Now, these bad boys are on a whole different spectrum. I can tell you right now, kind of a spoiler, that these laptops beat every other laptop in the game right now, even for 2 years old. I feel like the first thing I should probably talk about is the outer shell, because that's the first thing you're gonna see about this laptop. So firstly, we finally have ports back. I don't know how long. It's been like 6-7 years since we've actually had ports on a laptop, or specifically the MacBook. And this just makes me so excited. Now I don't have to use dongles. I don't have to figure out if my dongle's broken. I could just plug in my HDMI port or my SD card. Oh man, oh, don't get me started. Before I get too carried away about that, let's focus on the XDR display. If you guys are not aware of what the XDR display is and what that means, it's basically Apple's OLED technology. So that refers to if you have any black areas on the screen at all, let's say if you're in a application with the notch, as you can tell, there is no visible light bleed or anything like that. The notch completely disappears. I have never seen a screen this good before. Trust me, look at the video right now as you're seeing this. This is straight from my camera looking at the screen. Now, I bet it won't translate on camera, but these displays are gorgeous. And let me tell you something, a little secret. This screen has more pixel density than the actual XDR display, which I'm sorry, I just think that's really, really funny because this whole entire thing does not even cost the display itself. The XDR display costs almost $6,000. Now, moving on to the keyboard, we still have the butterfly switches, but as you can see, they did color it a bit differently. Now we just have a full blacked out keyboard, and personally, I really like this design. I like the way they did it because it just gives it a little bit more of a color shift. I don't really know how to say it, but you guys know what I mean. They've also removed the touch bar, which I'm kind of sad about because I actually kind of like the touch bar. I used it a lot, so really sad to see it go, but I'm glad to see actual buttons. But other than that, I think I've covered pretty much the whole entire back. Oh, if you guys have not seen already, on the back, this has MacBook Pro etched into the bottom, and I really like that. This gives this laptop a very, very premium feel. All right, now I really did want to get into the graphs and the raw performance only for a couple minutes, but I got a graph off of techspot.com, and they actually tested in Cinebench R23 with the Ryzen 9 5900HX. So that's basically the top of the line Ryzen CPU for, laptops. And they tested it against the 10-core CPU and 16-core GPU MacBook Pro, the same one that I have right now. So the Ryzen 9 got a score of 11,885, okay? Now that's pretty good, but the MacBook Pro got a score of 12,378. And I even did a test in Premiere Pro myself with my tower computer. I did a test with that bad boy. That has an i5 9400F CPU and an RX 6600 XT graphics card. So I did the test with my tower computer, a 5-minute export project, and that took 23 minutes. But with these MacBooks, it did the export, the same project, in 5 minutes and 27 seconds. So with all that being said about the performance, that should automatically just tell you to get this because there's nothing like it, especially if you're editing ProRes footage like I am from my phone. All right, for this next section, I am actually gonna go out in nature and I'm gonna go to a lake to use my drone and actually test out the UHS 2 speeds from this SD card slot. So let's get to this. So I just got done flying. I have the SD card in the slot right now, which I am very happy to say. We are going to test the UHS-2 speeds with it. Now it is only UHS-2, not UHS-3. We're gonna see how fast that actually is. So I am just going to transfer right here, real time. I have it recording on my screen. Estimate time remaining. Okay, it usually does this from time to time. That's 4 gigabytes. Now it's still estimating about a minute. Okay, that's not that bad, honestly. With my other dongle, it takes about 30 to 40 seconds. All right, it has been about 30 seconds already though, and it's done. It's done, that's it. That was basically as fast as my dongle. There you go. Oh my goodness. All right, Editor Cody, didn't have to make it that difficult. Jeez. Okay, though, nonetheless, the next thing I really wanted to talk about was the battery life on this bad boy. So Apple claims you can actually get 11 to 12 hours of 4K video playback. And I can actually attest to that because I've used this thing for about 2 days without a charge. That was amazing because with my M1 MacBook Pro, I had to charge it by the end of the night. And don't even get me started when I'm video editing. When I am video editing, this thing lasts, just like I said, about 7 to 8 hours of really, really hard use. When I had the M1 MacBook Pro, that only lasted me like 3 hours when I was video editing. All right, just real quick, we are at a different angle because I really wanted to show you the MagSafe capabilities because this is the main reason why you should have this if you're traveling or anything, because it's just easy as that. So getting a situation all stood up, we have this in kind of like a scenario you would have at an airport. So somebody walks by, snags it. Oh, there you go. As you saw, it did not move the laptop, it just came undone. And just like that, it's easy enough to plug it in and just not have to worry about it. Oh, I love having that peace of mind. Now, mainly the first thing that I kind of really don't like are the choice of ports. Now, let me explain. Don't get me wrong, I love the fact that we have an HDMI port and an SD card slot, but there is a catch. The HDMI port only supports HDMI 2.0, not 2.1, but I mean, I guess one less dongle. I would have really loved to see a USB-A port on this bad boy. Now, I know those cables and those ports are kind of outdated, but there are still some instances where I do use that. And for instance, my mouse, I have to use a dongle for my mouse. So there's little things here and there that I wish that they added, just like macOS Ventura. It sucks. Just by looking right here, you can see that it kind of resembles iOS in a way, and I guess that makes sense to kind of have people a little bit more comfortable with the operating system. But coming from a macOS user, it's really confusing me. There are options that are just not there anymore. Everything is bugged. I cannot figure out how to expand these settings. The settings is only mapped to this rectangular shape. I do not know how to get it up. It's stupid. Nonetheless, I'm glad that this powerhouse has the things that it has. All right, with my rant now done, I can officially say that this video is kind of concluded. If you are in the market for a laptop in 2023 and are kind of deciding between the M2 MacBook Pro and the M1 Pro MacBook Pro, there is hands down, you should get the $1,500 M1 Pro MacBook. The price range is only $500 difference, and you get so much more. You get ports, you get the XDR display, and you get that added extra performance. So I think that seals the deal. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. See you guys later.